We gather around without blocking the sidewalk, hopefully, because there are still people passing by, but why don't we gather around and we can get our program going here. It's great to see everybody. My name's Gerald, and thank you all for coming, especially so soon after the Hurricane Sandy. So looks like we have people here represented from all different parts of the county and maybe even beyond. John, Richard, can you hear us? John, can you hear us? Kathleen and Matt, you can hear us? Okay, great. This is good, so we don't have to actually walk from here. Thanks to the wonderful technology that we have. So we've had a wonderful 40 days for life. Gracias a ustedes para los 40 días por la vida. Es muy bueno. Gracias a Dios. And why don't we begin with a prayer, okay? And by the way, Diana is going to be my translator too, to help me communicate. This is a prayer to God, the Father of all life. Eternal God, you have revealed yourself as the Father of all life. We praise you for the fatherly care which you extend to all creation, and especially to us, made in your image and likeness. Father, extend your hand of protection to those threatened by abortion and save them from its destructive power. Give your strength to all fathers, that they may never give in to the fears that may tempt them to facilitate abortions. Bless our families and bless our land, that we may have the joy of welcoming and nurturing the life of which you are the source and the eternal Father. Amen. We have been through a long journey. This is day number 39 out of 40 days for life. And God has really blessed us. God has taken our small little efforts and multiplied them. And it's been wonderful to see. And we thank you for all your contributions to this wonderful effort.
Les agradecemos a todos por su contribución en este esfuerzo. Estamos en el día 39 de 40. Ha sido un camino largo, pero les agradecemos a todos por sus esfuerzos maravillosos.
40 Days for Life includes prayer and fasting, and I think we've all done prayer and fasting. If anybody would like to share their experiences over the last 40 days of prayer and fasting, is there anybody who would like to share that? Or any stories of the vigil itself?
Let her translate it. Let her translate it.
Los 40 días por la vida incluyen oración y ayuno. Nos encantaría que alguien nos comparta un poco de su testimonio sobre la oración y el ayuno y lo que han vivido en estos 40 días.
You know what, Gerald? I was inspired to write a writing and also a poem about life. If I can say, if you'd like to hear that.
Sure, absolutely.
Okay.
Do you have a phone? Great. Right front.
This is called Once Upon a Time. Once upon a time, there were a billion bright lights in the sky, one entirely different and beautiful than the other, like snowflakes or flowers in the field. but we didn't appreciate their beauty, so we pulled them down and put them out. These precious children, one destined to cure dreaded cancer, still another Alzheimer's and more. So much great talent and gifts never seen before. A billion human beings will shine no more. So many lives allowed to dwell for such a short time in their mother's womb. So much pain. In all the world where they thought they could rest and grow and live, but it was there that they were killed. Once upon a time, there are no more bright lights in the sky. Now the sky has been darkened, and unceasing rain like tears will not stop, and crying will not end. Once upon a time, the world said no to God. Now the heavens are wide open, and the end is here, I fear.
Thank you so much, Jeanette. Thank you for reminding us of the stars in heaven that are the babies. I think one of the greatest testimonies to what God has done in this 40 days is He's put this clinic behind us out of business, at least temporarily. Since the storm, they lost power and it has not been opened since then. And we don't even know how many babies are saved because it's been closed.
Muchas gracias por el poema. Creo que uno de los testimonios más grandes de lo que Dios ha hecho en estos 40 días es que ha cerrado temporalmente esta clínica que está detrás nuestro por la tormenta, al menos unos pocos días donde se salvan vidas.
Our God is wonderful, and He works in mysterious ways. The other thing about this 40 Days for Life is that it has brought together the pro-life community. All of you that have been involved, if you have not given us your information as far as contact information, please see me before you leave today so that we can make sure that you register with the Pro-Life Network.
Una de las otras cosas que esto ha logrado es que se una mucho el movimiento Pro Vida. Entonces les invito a que si todavía no se han inscrito con nosotros, lo hagan, se acerquen ahora y lo hagan para que seamos una sola red.
The third pillar of 40 Days for Life is community outreach, and we've been trying to educate the public about what's going on in their neighborhood. A lot of people drive by here every day and they don't even know what's going on inside. And so I think, as you can see by the people driving by in their cars today, I think people are becoming more and more aware of the horror of abortion going on in their own community.
El tercer pilar de esto es que la educación a la comunidad acerca del aborto y de los horrores que pasan aquí. Y creo que eso es algo más que hemos logrado en estos días. La gente que pasa manejando ya se está enterando un poquito más de lo que es este edificio que está aquí y los horrores que suceden aquí. Eso es una de las cosas importantes, que la gente de la comunidad se dé cuenta de lo que están haciendo.
And I think it's a strong statement by the pro-life community in Westchester that as long as the abortion clinics remain open, we will be here. We will continue praying. We will continue praying. There will be future 40 Days for Life campaigns if we need them. Typically we have one in the spring and one in the fall. And so you can look forward to hearing more about 40 Days for Life in the spring, and stay tuned. We will be here as long as
Uno de los mensajes fuertes que se han transmitido en este tiempo es que nosotros estaremos aquí peleando por la vida mientras esto esté abierto. En el futuro habrán más eventos 40 días para la vida, si es que es necesario. Normalmente tenemos uno en el otoño y otro en la primavera. Entonces van a escuchar un poco más de lo que vamos a estar haciendo. Quédense pendientes de lo que va a pasar.
At this time, would anybody else like to share some stories or testimonies with regards to the pro-life movement, 40 Days for Life?
¿Alguien más quisiera en este momento compartir un testimonio sobre 40 días para la vida o algo de pro vida?
Okay, why don't we at this time listen to some music, and you can sing along if you'd like. Okay, and so before we do that, actually, we do have an announcement here.
I just would like to thank Gerald, and I think he deserves a round of applause. Thank you for organizing it.
Well, thank you, Chris. And I want to thank Diana for being a wonderful translator. I just met her today, actually. She's with a wonderful group here, a prayer group called To Jesus Through Mary. And maybe just a couple of words about my experience with 40 Days for Life. I'm just standing in awe of the way that God has worked. He basically spoke to me in a prayer, in a meditation session one morning, because I had been considering getting involved with 40 Days for Life, but I guess I just needed that little push. And that particular morning, the reading was about the multiplication of the loaves and fishes, where the little boy had only 2 fish and a couple loaves of bread, and he gave it to Jesus and said, "This is all I have." And Jesus was able to take that and multiply it and feed 5,000 men and their families. And so God was speaking to me at that time and saying, all I need, Gerald, from you is for you to take the first step, and I'll take care of the rest. I will multiply your efforts. And 40 days later, or 50, 60 days later, I'm standing in awe of what God has done. He has brought the pro-life community together. He has spread the message of the gospel of life to our community, and we don't know exactly how much, but he has touched people's lives. He has saved babies, and we can say that with confidence that he has done that, even though we may not know specifically what's going on. So I just thank God for what he has done and for sending all of you into my life and into the 40 Days for Life campaign.
He said that there's 40 days for life, and this is the 39th. When is the 40th? And what are we doing tomorrow?
Come back tomorrow.
Oh,
No,
okay.
but this is the closing rally.
This is the closing rally.
You want to do some music? How about the national?
Here. I can't do it with my gloves. No. The same as the garage, Dad. Wait.
Chuta, lo viste en Facebook, ¿te viste?
No, de por sí sabían, me habían dicho.
Ah, ¿te dijo Gaby?
No, había venido aquí.
Pero nosotros, no, o sea, ya estábamos nosotros aquí.